Wendy Antonucci here today, and I am working with Blvd's Illustrated Faith, All People, All Nations. So today I thought I was going to make a card. What I began with was a 3x4 card, and it's off of the Borders and 3x4 paper. And I like to use what is already created for me. So I was going back and forth between heart and heart, heart to heart, and you will never influence the world by trying to be of it. So I decided I love the color yellow. I was going to go with this. My next thing that I added in was one of these larger shapes, the tip-in shapes, and they come with grids on the back. So I wanted to add in a little bit of softness, so I chose a circle. And I used the back because I already had quite a lot of words and pattern going on. From there, I just grabbed my die cut shapes and began to play. And what I went with was the little squares, crosses, and this little sprig and a tag. But when I went to measure it, it was a little bit too big for a card. And it seemed so pretty. And I thought, what if I was to put a picture over here? So my card became a layout. By choosing a background that is very colorful, the white paper doesn't look funny on it, it goes right in. There are many other options. How's that for taking your layout up a notch? Actually, how about taking a card up a notch? So all I did was played with some layering here. And sometimes I like to do that as it's just easy, it's something quick, it doesn't take much, but it helps you just be creative, and I needed that right now. Now, by putting this paper on this 12x12 sheet, you could also just make an 8.5x11 layout, but I don't like to make those, so I'm going to mount it on there. Now, this is fine. It seems like it's floating a little bit, and I would like to add in something to hold it down, and I like the dark blue. I love blue and yellow, and actually with teal also. So there was my next step. So right now I could add a picture, and I'm not sure what. I don't even have a clue what might fit, but I'm just having fun today. My page has some sort of title or sentiment. I have plenty of room for a picture. It's mounted on the page, so this is a good page. But I want to bring this color, and I want to bring it up here to kind of use the whole page, and so this doesn't seem so stark white. So the next ones I picked were, I like flowers, so I decided to add some in. And I'm just going to layer these, kind of like this, I guess. Now, I have this sprig here that's kind of leading you up, so I want to add in another one, but leading you down this time. So that's kind of where I was headed with that. So nothing's stuck down at this moment, it's just kind of trying to figure out what would work. But right now, that brings you down and almost around. Makes me think there should be something over here to bring you back around. But this is where my picture probably will go, so maybe that will help me lead around. I did try a few of these other words, and while I like them, I really liked Mountain Mover, I don't like that they're competing with each other. So while I might look for some words to put up here, I don't want to have it in the same font because it's not joining it. It's kind of bringing it apart a little bit. The other thing I was thinking is there are these other strips. I really like this light green one. That might be another good choice. I don't think I want to add that in, but I'm thinking this light green might be a choice. So I'll take a look at that in a minute. I also have these stickers, and there is a light green with a different pattern there. So I'm going to open these up and take a look at that next, and we're going to take this to the next step. Right now we have everything you need for a layout. You can add maybe a big title here. You have plenty of room to journal. Just need a picture and you're good to go. But I want to take it up a little bit farther. I'm thinking some texture with some little dots, the acrylic shapes or the puffs. might be a good choice there. And as I was mentioning, these stickers. And then we also have, as part of the basics, these word phrase stickers in all different colors. Those would really add a lot to that. So that's what we're going to look at next. So just give me a minute and we'll take a look. All right, so everything is down. And I went to look for a picture and I found this with the blue. Just matched these colors. My boys, I thought it looked wonderful, but it's so small. So I printed out a 5x7, but when I did, it was very blocky. It just filled it up a little bit too much. Let me show you that. It was good, and I definitely could do it. Actually, it looks pretty good. But I got to thinking, how about I cut out my boys and just do their faces or their bodies without the extra. And I decided to tuck that under, and look at that. Doesn't that look cool? With the large 5x7, it was just one rectangle and another, and it was not great. It was good, but it wasn't great. Now, my next thought was, I've got all this blank space, so I went and looked for my favorite, the acrylic words. I found this word adventure, and it's in the same yellow, and I really like that. But I also found this word be brave. Now that matches this font, which I didn't necessarily want to do, but with it being white, it really would not take away from my layout. So I'm looking at both of those, but I still have a blank space over here. So remember those tip-ins that I told you I had used the back? I went and I found this one, and I thought it'd be neat, but over there, obviously it's going the wrong way, and I don't really want that yellow. I was really looking for that blue. So that's going the wrong way, but if I tuck it in under here, and under this part that I have already glued down, something like that. I thought that looked pretty neat. And then if I chose to do that adventure, it would give it somewhere to rest, so it wasn't just floating. But then I noticed that there was this arrow, and I thought that was really neat. Now, if I go with the yellow, then I should do Be Brave. But again, do I like the font? My other choice was this adventure, but then I'm resting on this yellow. That's a little bit much. If I put it up here, it's not connected. I want to keep everything connected. So the other thing I found was this one, and at first I thought I ended up layering them like that. Oops, they're getting caught now. And I really love the fact that I could have that yellow still, but I could also almost make it blend into this a little bit more. So I really, really like the yellow, but I'm not sure that I can pull that off. But by layering them, I can go ahead and use that. I could still use this adventure, which I think I'm leaning towards, or the Be Brave. So I really like that. It doesn't take away from my picture, but there's not this huge blank space. I also went and looked for some of those puffy stickers, and I found the yellow that matches this. That way I could sprinkle some more yellow over here so that it would pull you through. But I also found some white, and I thought the tone-on-tone white might look really nice also. So I have a couple options right now. I did cut out that green stripe, and at first I thought maybe down here or maybe under there to match the grass and kind of continue it on. But since I already put this down, that might be a problem. The other thing I thought of is I could just put a little strip of it up here so that the grass kind of carried up. So that's another option. And then I do have these stickers. I would like to get a few more of this shape over here, and there are a few of those. They do have patterns on them, but I think we can still get away with it. So I kind of want to bring it over here. Now the other thing I could do is I could switch some of these out and even though they are already glued down. I could switch some of those out and bring those over if I want the solid color. Let's see, here's a pink that's almost solid. So I'm gonna put that one over here. So just kind of bringing that up, and then I'm going to use those stars with it. Now, the other piece I had mentioned was this border, and I think it would look nice, but I don't think we need all of it. You could, but I think it would be nice just to do a little bit. So I'm going to just rip off a section and just place it down. Nothing real scientific, just put some color down, some shape. And then I could easily put some more up there. I'm going to trim that part where I tore it so it doesn't look so raw. Okay. And let's see here, do we want it floating, or we could have it under this part too. I don't think I want it to go all the way across. I'm gonna just snip it here. I love border stickers because yes, you could use the whole thing, but it's so easy just to move them around and put them where you need them. And I think that's probably pretty good. Okay. So that's all. I'm going to save the rest of that for later or another project or whatever comes up. All right, so that's where we're at right now. I'm going to go ahead and glue these down, and I'm thinking I might move that orange one if I can get it up without ripping, because I did already put it down. All right, so when I laid down this Be Brave, I really like that it continues the story that I was already telling. Because of it being white, it does, and kind of blends into the background, it doesn't cause a problem here. I really like how big this is. Here is the smaller adventure. Now I do need to change that, but I don't like how this fits. I would need a bigger title, and I don't really have one. I like that I would have a triangle, but I don't really have a title to go with that. So I'm going to go with the Be Brave right about here. And because I am using that, I can keep that yellow, and I don't need to add in this one, which I really like. So I'm going to leave that alone also. Okay. So I think this layout is actually pretty close to being done. I have a title, I have some sentiment, I have a picture, I have some color bringing us around, and you can see by putting the picture and these arrows, it kind of brings you all the way around. It is a diagonal, but it also brings you around, which I really like that. So my next step is I'm going to just add in some of these puffy stickers to continue this look of these crosses floating around, and just kind of giving you a background. So I'm going to do that, and we're just about done. I'll be back. Welcome back. All right, so here's our layout. I've added in a few of the puffy stars. I used the white, just kind of to accent, and then I added in some more yellow, seeing that was kind of the main color, and it helps to bring you around. You can see that it brings you in a full circle. I also added in some of these word stickers. Remember, because of him, be brave. Once I did that, there was still a lot of white space, and while it was perfectly fine, I love this stamp set, this one here. And so I just chose these little dots and just sprinkled in a few, ran them off my page, so my paper didn't look as white as it had. So there is my finished layout. It has a title, Be Brave. It has a picture. It has color that brings you around. And now I'm going to add in some journaling. You could easily squeeze in a little bit here. There's all this space if you had a lot to write, and there's some room here. I don't have a specific story I'm telling here. It's just something I wanted to, just a memory I wanted to catch of my boys as they're such good friends together. So let's see here. I think this would look great, but I don't have much to say, so I'm going to just stick right down here, and I'm actually just going to turn the page.